you can achieve performance without doing as much damage. I think there's just a lot of miseducation and misconceptions about how much work needs to be done to get certain performance factors. Like if you look at a lot of top athletes, like they're training intelligently, not excessively. Right? And I think in the general population, you have people just like almost like the Rocky movie assumption that I just have to work more and work harder to get there. And it's like, no, you have to work smarter, which in the long run means less volume of work, less damage to your body, and you can continue to do it longer. I mean, it's a bell curve, right? Super compensation. You need to lead to like a little bit of overreaching, and then you need to rest and recover and allow the body to adapt and keep leveling up. It's not a linear path that it's undulating, right? A little up and down as you go. But it's intuitive, right? It's like, I work harder, I get better, but it's like, you work smarter, you get better. And like, we have the science now, we have all these decades of sports science to back this up, that like, peaking, pulling back will get you there faster rather than just trying to hammer through the whole way. If you look at the top athletes that we have in any sport, right? If you look in like weightlifting, powerlifting, or you look at like basketball, football, any of these major sports and like impressive athletic feats, the people we talk about played for a long time at a high level. They weren't the best for 1 or 2 years, they were the best for decades, right? And so it's not only like performing at a high level, but doing that for a long time that's important, and that's when you have to get smart. And I think like that's a piece that's missing in like the general population of training. We disassociate from professional athletes because they are so impressive, right? Like, I look at LeBron James and I'm like, we're not the same human. Like that's another level of human, right? Like regardless of what training he ever did, he was always gonna be a freak of nature. And we just kind of distance ourselves, like the rules that apply to them don't apply to us. And to a certain extent, that's true, right? Like there are people that are just so physically gifted that like anything they do, they're gonna be good at. But there's no reason that we can't use the lessons that they've learned for performance onto us, right? Like car companies take lessons from NASA and things like that. Like your Honda Accord doesn't need all the technology that NASA has, but there are lessons that can be extrapolated and used there. And the same thing is for general population clients, right? Like there's things that, LeBron's trainer is doing with him for performance, joint health, maintenance, things like that, working with a 40-year-old executive that sits at a desk 10 to 12 hours a day can be useful for as well.